Hey group, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker, and this is a late night session where I divinate the energies of the Divine Masculine. So I pre-shuffle the cards. You already have them displayed here on the table. I'm just going to dive deep into the message now based on what you see in front of you. So I'm getting the sense that our Divine Masculine is really tired, but also equally excited. As I was shuffling the cards, I blew out the smoke from the candles to that side, and these other two remained burning. There is an imbalance at play. There is a reconciling of opposite forces and a deep internal conflict that Divine Masculine is at the moment working through. With the Magician and the Mirror here, he knows he's capable of wonderful things. He knows he has all the resources at his hand, at his disposal, to generally create a wonderful new reality. He knows as well, with the archetype of the bridge, that he needs other people in his life to help him build his empire, that he cannot do it all alone. It would be foolish to do so, and that in order to be a great leader, you have to summon your group, you have to get your followers, you have to entertain your public. There is a lot of light pouring into his solar consciousness. Helios is the sun. It is about the sunrise and sunset. A part of him still struggles with his lower base impulses, but he's finding out creative day-to-day practices that can help him transform his lower desires, his lower needs into higher-minded ideals. I think that from a purely pragmatic perspective, a lot of the Divine Masculines out there at the moment are really focused on material success. But this is not necessarily just acquiring an object. It is about acquiring an education, a degree, completing a course, wrapping up a suit of study, creating a project. And these two cards go incredibly well together in this reading because Taurus is about this abundance of mind, not only the one of the body and the material possessions that create our reality, like our home, a car, the clothes, the food that we ingest, everything around us that we need in order to feel comfortable and stable. I feel like Divine Masculine energy at the moment is strongly centered on achieving an education, on leveling up their skills so that they can in turn bring into being this new reality that is asking itself to be created with the current Saturn conjunction in Jupiter in Aquarius. Aquarius is about the higher realms. It is about connecting deeply to what is out there, external source, tuning into cosmic frequencies so that if we are unhappy with the situation here on Earth, we can create our own reality. And look how beautiful the archetype of creation came out as well, Beaver Moon. Divine Masculine energy at the moment is, I feel like it's penting itself up. He is not, he or it could also be a she with a very strong animus. Divine Masculine energy at the moment is just focused on the act of creation, on not allowing his energy to be spread out in all directions without consequence. He is conserving his energy and thereby allowing himself moments of deep pleasure. I feel that there is this opposition, this duality, this dual energy, potentially the influence of North Node in Gemini. But I feel like on one side, he is excited about creating this new world, pent up with ideas and energy that he will not let out of his body, but rather using that energy like a hamster wheel turning inside of himself in order to be able to come up with the most interesting ideas and solutions. But at the same time, it's very difficult for our divine masculine to put forth this new creative vision, because I feel how tired he is. I feel how he needs a rest, he needs a break. He's been doing two things at the same time, trying to expand his social network, trying to connect and reach out to those important people in his life, trying to earn his degree, study and work potentially, and also dealing with some emotional aspects, which I will get into in a second. Sexually, though, he just wants to let go. He wants to let loose. He wants to unleash this pent-up creative energy that he's been storing up within his body. I feel that as well, he's been trying to fuel his body with the right foods, the right exercise, the right supplements. I feel like he's trying to recover after what has been, by all intents and purposes, a very harsh winter. He is ready as well to let loose into a new state of being, into spring. So I can see it here how it's so strange, because a part of me, I'm picking up on this energy of wanting to release and surrender emotional pain. I feel like crying. I feel like there's a heaviness to this reading, which I have been trying to ignore, but I feel like it needs to be addressed. There is an emotional pain. There is a sense of not wanting to go forward, not feeling capable of manifesting his dreams. He has such lofty ideals, but they disappoint him because of the fact that he looks at surrounding reality and he sees that it's so imperfect. So there is a dissonance, a cognitive dissonance in his worldview, what he wants to see happen and what is actually his reality. There is this conflict between what the truth might be, the truth that is aligned with his higher values, and what the reality of a multitude of subjective truths that are just ping-ponging on each other. So he's trying to lunge forth through this darkness. He's trying to persevere like a flaming lion in a dark, deep forest. For some of you, this could be significant. I am getting a sense of Schwarzwald, which is in the southern part of Germany. So I think that potentially this could be a quest that he needs to go through, an apprenticeship. I'm even getting a pilgrimage, to be honest. I feel like he yearns for the travel, the adventure, but he's somehow stuck in his current circumstances. And I feel like the past is also keeping him stuck with the Five of Cups here. This owl, representative of spiritual energy, divine spiritual energy. And in my mind, the owl is a boon of abundance, representing the Hindu goddess Lakshmi. This owl is still focused on the cracked eggs and neglecting the two eggs that are behind it. And I feel like he is often waking up with such a desire to change his reality and make it better, but then the past tends to drag it back, almost as if he woke up and his hand or his head is smeared in treacle or some sort of honey. There is something sticky happening here, sticky relationships, sticky karmic contracts that have not been wrapped up properly. Closure was not given where it should have been given, and there is a sense of regret and sadness. The French word amertume comes to mind. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. The King of Wands. It's so interesting because if you hear something on the background, by the way, it's just my cat meowing herself into a period of heat. So this is very significant as well, and I do feel the need to address it because it is very similar to what is happening here. It's almost like it's a cold war going within our divine masculine at the moment, where externally things seem dull, they seem lifeless, they seem boring, cold, controlled, but internally there is all this pent-up energy that is fusing at the moment. I feel like potentially there's a kundalini rising, but it's happening very slow, and it is incredibly powerful with all this fire energy. And it is incredibly long-term and long-lasting with Taurus here. This has the potential to last, but this energy is not properly given the exhaust channel. It's not being released in the proper ways because the channels are stuck. I feel like there is some sort of energetic gunk that our divine masculine is dealing with. And interestingly enough, if some of you had to deal with divine masculines that were Knights of Wands, so the archetype of the player, as some readers would call it, or the adventurer, as I like to call it, the explorer, well then it's a very good indication that our divine masculine has graduated and he just wants to offer commitment to one single person. So he wants to just grab you, hold you, and after he's won a competition, after he's won the accolades, the certificates, the material goods that he deserved, and that he also brought into being through hard work, he just wants to come and wrap you in his cloak and take you away. I feel as well that this is because some divine masculines have been keeping an eye on you from afar, or have been telepathically and energetically communicating. Some of you are courted because you already had sexual relations with your divine masculine, so you are courted, and whenever there is sexual energy being expressed by him, you feel it too, and vice versa. Others have just had a connection that was more about eyes and eyesight. You recognized each other's soul patterns just by looking at each other, and there is potentially, if there was a mental flow, there is as well a telepathic connection between the two of you. I feel like some of you have been practicing these skills. And it's so interesting that right now I feel that he's also very focused on your well-being. He might have connected with you through these 5D strategies, or potentially look you up on your social media, on the websites, on whatever you decide to put out there on the internet. And I feel that the divine masculine has been looking and watching, and potentially as of late your energy has been quite low. You might have been going through some challenges, and he sees it and he wants to take care of you. He wants to protect you. He wants to mend this broken heart. I feel that forgiveness is coming. It needs to start from within, so there is this sense of deep forgiveness that is nourishing the heart of each individual before it can connect this beautiful bridge between two people. And I feel that a lot of color is just about to bring forth, to spring forth with the dawn of spring in the northern hemisphere. I'm getting a very strong sense that whatever lethargy and whatever feelings of being tired and at the end of your tether, they're about to be healed and cleansed and purged. But there first needs to be a deep dive into the realm of emotions so that the divine masculine can rise in you and be able to create this light and everything that he wants in his life, a sense of magic, mirroring a sense of magic to you, making you feel empowered as well as he is becoming more materially empowered, and allowing this ecstasy to be cascading in your relationship, no longer holding back from your physical connection, but genuinely wanting it, wanting to bring it into being. And as your desire aligns with his desire, and all that pent-up energy that I feel that both of you have been storing privately comes unleashed when you guys are close to each other, well, it can reach some really strong proportions. Okay, so that's what I had for you guys. It's a short and sweet message. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to work with me, you've got all the details in the description box below. I look forward to another Divine Masculine reading in another week's time. I send you so much love. Bye.